Abilene-based business is going way beyond the city limits. 2018 was a record year for First Financial Bank, with growth in multiple departments. Its new region in the southeast part of the state saw significant growth. The Kingwood region near Houston is its newest addition. The move to expand the business toward Houston and the Metroplex was a strategic move.
Those are high growth areas, and so you have more growth than what you do in West Texas, and so you pick up more growth. We love West Texas. We're West Texas based, but to add that additional value to our shareholders, we need high growth areas.
And Deeser says a key to success in the big country and beyond is to keep rolling out improvements to customers, and that includes mobile banking.
And more news going now to Eastland County, where the VFW is asking for the community's help to honor veterans on Memorial Day. It's an annual tradition to place flags on the graves of veterans, but officials say they never have enough. They've set a goal of gathering 3,000 flags. Right now they're at 1,000, and they're calling on the community to help donate the remaining 2,000 needed.
To defend that tradition of freedom and liberty, and this flag is symbolic of that tradition.
And to find out where you can donate, you can go to our website, bigcountryhomepage.com.
Going to Merkel now, where a man is using his creative talents to bring joy to the community. Stan Burge began woodworking in 2005 when his wife was diagnosed with a rare autoimmune disease. He says his life became devoted to doctor's appointments and taking care of his wife. Woodworking was the only thing he did in his free time. It quickly turned into a passion, and for the past 14 years, he's carved canes and wooden sculptures for people in need.
I feel that God has given me a talent, and I'm supposed to use it for His honor and His blessings, not for me. And that's the way I feel about everything I try to do. I try to do it for God's honor and His glory.
And Burge says he usually doesn't meet the people his gifts go to, but says he doesn't need to because it's about making others happy, not just himself. And KRBC's Jessica Rank will have his full story tonight on KRBC News at 6.
The Rotary Club of Texas has created a statewide project to pinpoint every important landmark along the Great Western Trail.
Now, one historic ranch in Coleman County officially represents the Old West. KRBC's Catherine Garcia joins us live in the studio to revisit the Old West. Catherine?
Well, David and Kathleen, good afternoon. Well, West Texas is known for its cattle drives and the tradition of the cowboy. Well, one cattle driver fell in love with Coleman County and returned to plant roots. We spoke with his descendants, who are now representatives of the Great Western Trail.
Everybody say Great Western Trail! Great Western Trail!
Jeff Miller and his partner Ashley are the proud owners of Cow Creek Ranch, a stretch of land first purchased more than 100 years ago.
A cattle driver named J.P. Morris that had come through this area enjoyed this country and enjoyed the lush grasses it had to offer and all the water, and decided someday he'd come back.
And he did come back. J.P. Morris, who everyone calls Gampy, had several children, all passing down the green, hilly earth from generation to generation.
My daughter Braylon will be the 7th generation to be on this land.
And current owner Jeff says each heir and heiress continues to cultivate the cowboy lifestyle.
You know, we still brand our calves just like they did back in the old days, and you know, we ride and rope, and we're keeping the tradition going.
Now a landmark along the Great Western Trail, it is also an opportunity to see Texas history in real time, says Texas historian and author Sylvia Mahoney.
There are other ranches in Texas, and they have been very important in the economy because they've been consistently working at it and have not had ownership change except inheritance when they passed it on to their children. That's a significant part of Texas history.
And as Jeff and Ashley Miller pass along the ranch to their daughters, they hope to keep that history alive. Reporting live in studio, Catherine Garcia, KRBC, Abilene's local news. Back to you, David and Kathleen.
All right, thank you very much, Catherine. And if you're interested in learning more about the Old West, the town of Coleman will be celebrating this weekend for Western Trail Days. That'll be April 26th through the 28th.
You can find out more on our website, bigcountryhomepage.com. Coming up next on First at 5, if you think flu season's over, well, think again. We'll tell you what you need to know coming up next.
And we're tracking a very dangerous storm, nearly 3-inch sized hail possible just south of Abilene, moving closer. I'll be checking that in the weather coming up next.
This is KRBC, Abilene's local news at 5, with Kathleen Barkley, David Bacon, and Chief Meteorologist Dylan Smith. Now, your KRBC Storm Team forecast.
There have been 21 straight weeks
Now, your KRBC Storm Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Dylan Smith.
It's been a very busy afternoon. Let's get right down to it. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for Abilene and the Key City and most of at least the eastern half of Taylor County right now. Let's zoom into it, show you what we're looking at. This storm already capable of producing upwards of 2.5-inch hail right now between Abilene and Tuscola, with the biggest hail core just to the south of that. So between Tuscola and Buffalo Gap right now, we have seen upwards of 2 to 3-inch hail fall. That's about the size of a baseball for reference there. This warning in effect until 5:45. That's another 30 to 40 minutes, give or take. And again, capable of producing upwards of 2 to 3-inch hail and very, very heavy rain. So we actually have an aerial flood advisory in effect for Abilene through later on this evening, so be aware of that. As we look at the hail sizes, again, our hail indicators are showing about baseball-sized hail down to the southern part of that storm, where you have Abilene right here, about 10 miles south of that. We're seeing all of that hail. So Abilene still capable of getting some of that large hail, but most of it is to the south right now. So that is good news there. But Buffalo Gap, Tuscola, you guys right in the path of that storm. We're also watching another severe thunderstorm warning. This one in effect until 6 p.m. over near Luders, between Luders and Woodson, up in Jones and Shackelford counties. That one in effect until 6 p.m. Upwards of an inch-sized hail and
website, bigcountryhomepage.com.
Going on now to Eastland County, where the VFW is asking for the community's help to honor veterans on Memorial Day. It's an annual tradition to place flags on the graves of veterans, but officials say they never have enough. They've set a goal of gathering 3,000 flags. Right now they're at 1,000, and they're calling on the community to donate the remaining 2,000 needed.
To defend that tradition of freedom and liberty. And this flag is symbolic of that tradition.
And to find out where you can donate, go to our website, bigcountryhomepage.com. Up next on KRBC News at 5, Dylan with another look at the forecast and the radar. Stay with us.
Here's a look at live radar, looking at a very strong and still severe warning storm southeast of Abilene. Now the hail core now just south of Potosi and Tuscola, expecting more strong storms to develop throughout the night, so make sure you stay tuned. We'll be here all night watching them.
All right, thanks, Dylan. That's your local news first at 5. NBC Nightly News is coming up next.
We'll be back here at 6. Thank you for trusting KRBC.
Tonight at 10 on KRBC, how you can help honor veterans.
Tonight at 10, an Abilene bank makes big strides.
Tonight at 10, a wet and stormy night's in store for us here in the Big Country.
Tonight at 10, an Abilene fire station gets an upgrade. We'll tell you what this means for a part of town that continues to grow.
Plus, as we move into the next several hours, expect more strong to possibly severe storms. We'll be here watching it all night. How about the forecast at 10?
Tonight at 10, an Abilene fire station gets an upgrade. We'll tell you what that means for a part of town that continues to grow.
And more strong to severe storms are anticipated later on tonight. We'll have that forecast for you tonight at 10.
Tonight on KRBC News at 10, rain in Abilene and the Big Country means good news for lakes. We'll take a look at the impact.
Plus, as we move into the next 24 hours, more storms and rain expected. I'll have that forecast tonight at 10.
This is a severe weather update from the KRBC Storm Team Weather Center.
Good evening, Big Country. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dylan Smith here with the latest on what's going on around the Big Country. Just a few minutes ago, we had a very strong storm push through the Abilene area. Now moving off to the east, right along the I-20 corridor, Clyde, Baird getting a lot of rain. The hail core mostly south of the I-20 corridor, but still possible of producing upwards of about 1.25 to 1.5 inch sized hail. So still damaging hail, damaging strong winds of about 60 miles an hour. This severe thunderstorm warning in effect for another 40 minutes, give or take, till about 6:30 is when this one's in effect. But this storm seems to be moving pretty quick, so they'll likely issue another one. So if you're out in Eastland County, be aware Putnam area, maybe moving out a little bit further east, could be under the gun here very quickly. This storm is still very strong, moving out to the east, still capable of producing very large hail. That's really the most dangerous storm we're looking at. We have another storm up in our northeastern area over in Shackelford and Stevens County moving east. Breckenridge, you guys had a severe thunderstorm earlier, anticipating this to continue moving further east. This one capable of producing right at about 1 inch sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour gusts. That severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 6 o'clock. And then moving down to our southwestern counties, we have Mitchell County under a severe thunderstorm warning, again south of Colorado City and that I-20 corridor. This one in effect until 6 as well. This is our next round of storms behind all the storms we've already seen, so just be aware of that as we move into the next few hours. Still anticipating some strong to severe storms at times, and hail and strong winds going to be our biggest threats for the rest of the evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dylan Smith. We're KRBC, your storm team.
This has been a severe weather update from the KRBC Storm Team Weather Center.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
David's mic, test, 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 test.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to get it.
Coming up on Abilene's local news, a fatal crash in Nolan County. We'll tell you what happened.
Plus, growth on the south side means changes for the Abilene Fire Department, more equipment and new personnel.
And as we move into the next few hours, anticipating more widespread rain and maybe even a few more strong to severe storms. I'll have an update of that radar and forecast here in a few minutes. Abilene's local news starts right now.
KRBC Abilene's local news starts right now with a breaking weather alert.
Good evening, I'm Kathleen Barkley.
And I'm David Bacon. Thank you for joining us. Severe thunderstorms are rolling through the big country tonight.
That's right. We want to get straight to what you can expect for the rest of this evening. Checking in with Chief Meteorologist Dylan Smith. Now, Dylan, we heard that hail and that rain earlier this evening. So what do we need to know as we head into later tonight?
I would just say this, expect more of the same that what we've been seeing, maybe not quite as strong as we move into the later evening hours. Most of that energy will start to dissipate, but we are still expecting widespread showers and storms over the next, I'd say, about 24 hours or so. Right now, we're still tracking a very strong storm between Clyde and Putnam and Baird. That warning is in effect until 6:30. Upwards of 1.5 inch sized hail still possible. Very healthy hail core right there south of the I-20 corridor. An aerial flood advisory actually in effect for the I-20 corridor from Abilene all the way to pretty much Putnam. So very, very heavy rain falling. Again, all across the I-20 corridor, very low visibility, very large hail as well. This is damaging hail, upwards of 1.5 inches. Winds still around 60 miles an hour. If you are in Breckenridge, another very strong storm, not severe. It was just a few minutes ago, but that has since been removed. So still expecting, I'd say, about 40 to 50 mile an hour gusts and maybe some small hail, but should be smaller than 1 inch. But this storm still very potent and moving to the east and northeast. Making our way further to the southwest, we are still tracking a severe thunderstorm warning in southern Mitchell County, south of Colorado City. A little bit of a hail core in there, about 1 inch sized hail possible with that 60 mile an hour gust continuing to push to the northeast. That entire system from basically Sterling City up to just south of Sweetwater starting to get a little bit more impressive. I'll look at that forecast here in a few minutes, but first let's send it back over to you guys.
All right, thanks, Dylan. Now take a look at this video of hail falling in Buffalo Gap. Dime-sized hail reported there. Some damage has been reported in the area, and we do have a KRBC crew heading out that way to assess some of that damage. You can get all of the latest weather alerts by downloading our BCH2Go mobile app. And all new tonight, crews are on the scene of a crash near Cemetery Road on Interstate 20 in Roscoe. One person we have confirmed has died at that crash. We're told an 18-wheeler loaded with fuel rolled over. Crews closed the westbound lane of I-20 just west of the Highway 84 I-20 split. The identity of this person has not yet been released. Pending notification of that next of kin, it's unknown if anyone else was involved in the wreck.
Turning now to news happening here in the Key City with a ladder truck officially in service and a complete remodel. Abilene Fire Station number 8 is seeing some major changes. With the growth on the south side of town, particularly in the Wiley district, the fire department had a need for a ladder truck and more personnel at Station 8. To prepare for the changes, firefighters worked for about 7 months remodeling the station to handle 4 more people per shift. The last time the Abilene Fire Department put a new piece of equipment into service was 1981, which was the time they built Station 8.
It's really neat that here we are in 2019 that we're again increasing our staffing numbers, increasing the amount of apparatus we have ready to respond. It's right here at Station 8. So that means a lot to us.
Station 8 will hold an open house to show off the truck and the remodel on Thursday, May 2nd from 6 to 8 p.m.
Staying in the Key City, the reach of an Abilene-based business is going way beyond city limits. Today at the annual meeting for First Financial Bank shareholders, it was revealed that 2018 was a record year for the bank, with growth in multiple departments, especially for its new region in the southeast part of the state. The company says the bank's Kingwood region near Houston is its newest addition, and this expansion toward Houston and the Metroplex is completely strategic.
Those are high growth areas, and so you have more growth than what you do in West Texas, and so you pick up more growth. We love West Texas. We're West Texas based, but to add that additional value to our shareholders, we need high growth areas.
And Deeser also says a key to success in the Big Country and beyond is to keep rolling out improvements to customers like mobile banking.
New information for you tonight. The Taylor County Sheriff's Office rolling out a new ride. You'll be seeing this new sleek design patrolling the local roads pretty soon. This new look will be slowly phased in as the Sheriff's Department replaces the older vehicles in its fleet.